All right, so yesterday the Milwaukee Bucks defeated the Indiana Pacers 117-115. Giannis hit a game winner. Everybody was going crazy, but a big storyline coming into the game was Myles Turner's return back to Indiana. Of course, he spent his first 10 years with the Pacers. He was drafted by the Pacers. Last year they go on a finals run. Of course, they come up short to OKC, but he was there a long time and he meant a lot to that franchise. So during his tribute, right? The Pacers gave him a tribute, but there were boos, man. There were a lot of boos. And when the camera panned over to Myles Turner, you could see him. He did like thank the crowd and he gave that gesture, but he also did the open book, closed book, or open, close it like he was on to a new chapter in his career. So that caught a lot of people's attention. So listen to what Myles Turner had to say after the game.
It was disheartening, man. It was frustrating. You give 10 years of your life, your blood, your sweat, your tears. You take pay cuts. You survive trade rumors. You try to do everything the right way, and then sometimes not stuff shakes out. It's cool. I take it on the chin. I think a lot of people will say I said things, but I think a lot of people want to formulate their own narratives and spin it to whatever they want it to be. But it is what it is, man. Like I say, you take it on the chin, just move on.
All right, so you heard what Myles Turner had to say in that post-game interview. Obviously, he was caught off guard. He was upset, and that wasn't it, man. He took it to X, man. This was the post he made. 10 years of blood, sweat, sacrifice, constantly taking a disdain on the chin. I guess growth isn't always applauded. Sometimes it's booed, but I'm still grateful, still rising. Hashtag fear the deer. Now, obviously, Myles Turner getting booed by Pacers fans and his return struck a nerve. Man, you can't really blame him, right? Now, a question one might ask is why would Pacers fans boo Myles Turner when he was such a pivotal piece to the team in their finals run? Of course, a long time. Pacers been there a decade. Why would they boo him? So if you've been following the NBA from the off season on up until now, there's been, it hasn't been the prettiest breakup, I should say, in terms of, the departure from Myles Turner going to the Bucks. The first one, I think not only did it catch Pacers fans off guard, I think it caught a lot of NBA fans off guard when he, decided to sign with the Milwaukee Bucks. Team came off finals run, he's been there a long time, and then, he goes to the Bucks, who I believe they have some type of rivalry. I'm not sure, but the Bucks and the Pacers, two teams that don't really like each other, right? With previous years and their previous history. So that's one thing. And then I believe a few days ago, a clip came out from when Myles Turner did a podcast, and like this clip was circulating around NBA Twitter, or NBA X, I should say, and him talking about Tyrese Haliburton. Now, I don't remember exactly what Myles Turner said, but it caused a lot of people to raise their eyebrows, especially Pacers fans. Like, man, you were talking. Why are you talking crazy about your former teammate who you just went to war with, the past few years? So that a lot of Pacers fans weren't a fan of what he said. Now, Myles Turner did come back out and say, hey, this clip was taken out of context, and, kind of watch the full thing to see, what, it makes sense of what he says. But, still, as you see last night, even with that, people, maybe people didn't even see what he tweeted, what he posted on X or tweeted out, but maybe people didn't see it. Maybe they did, or they just didn't buy it, and they were like, hey, man, we're done with this dude. Forget him. Forget all that. Hey, man, let me know your thoughts in the comments on this situation. Myles Turner returning back to Indiana and being met with boos. Let me know.
On his memory here at Rocker Park. At his theme. Somebody leave the basket. We're gonna see him on the post. Snacks. Tell me yesterday, HBC.
Man, once again, man, I appreciate you having me, man. And congrats, man, on the platform. And I say keep it going, keep doing your thing.